Hi everybody, it's Miss McElaney. So today I'm here to talk to you about fractions, and we are going to be making fraction strips together. Now this is something you would normally do in your classroom, but we are going to do it, you're going to do it at home, and I am going to try very hard to give you clear directions on this video. All right, there's a number of steps, so what I would suggest is that you watch the video straight through and then watch it again as you're going through each step, making your fraction strips. All right, let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do your fraction strips is this paper that your teachers sent to you, which has number lines. All right, and let me show you what I'm going to do to this paper to get it ready. So on my printer, the zeros all got cut off. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go back over them and make zeros. And if it didn't get cut off on your printer, then you can skip this step. Now also, because this is a number line, I want to put number line arrows to remind myself that number lines go in both directions forever and ever, for infinity. Okay. All right, so now my number lines are ready, but let's just talk about this for a second because it's kind of a funny number line. This number line goes from 0, so that feels pretty normal that we start a number line at 0, but it only goes to the number 1, and there's all this space. Friends, wouldn't it make more sense if this went to 10 and we were supposed to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's not because now we're talking about fractions, and fractions are numbers. They're values that come between 0 and 1. They're more than 0. If I have half a candy bar, I have some candy bar, but it's less than one full candy bar. So all of those fractions sit on this number line right between 0 and 1. And those are the numbers we're going to be talking about today. All right, so getting this paper here is your first step. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to need some scissors, and we're going to cut this paper on these lines here where it says cut here. So you're going to make 4 cuts. And when you do, you're going to end up with these. Okay, so we have these papers here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to fold them to make fraction strips. Now the first one up here at the top, we're going to leave that one alone because that is one whole. That is not going to be divided into fractions. But the rest of them are. So I'm going to show you how I like to do this. I think it's kind of a handy way. Pile all 3 papers together. Leave this one here. Pile these 3 together and now fold them in half. Be as precise as you can, but also know that nothing that we do with folded paper and scissors is ever going to be exact. We just get as close as we can. So they're folded in half. Now take out 1 and lay it on the table. Take your remaining 2 and fold them in half. Again. So now it's this size. Open it up and take one of the 2 sheets away and lay it on the table. Now you have this one left. Take this one and fold it in half. And then open it up and you have all of the fraction strips folded just the way they're supposed to be. All right, our next step is to label our fraction strips. So for this, you're going to need a pen or a pencil. And we need to think about this. This one we're not going to label because we know that one's one whole. Let's look at this one. We can see that we folded this in half. So here is 0 and here is 1. So where is 1/2 on our number line? Yeah, it's right here, right exactly where we folded it. Let's put our little notch for it and let's label it 1/2. This one is divided into 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to label them as fourths. 0, and here is our first fourth. 1, 4. 1 out of 4 pieces. Here's our second one, 2/4. 2 out of 4. Here's our 3/4. And even here, right where the 1 is also 4/4. And that reminds me, mathematicians, I forgot to label this one. I wanted to. So here's 1/2. I'm going to put another notch here because right here is 2/2. So friends, you're going to do the same thing for this one. Let's see how many pieces it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're going to label it from 1/8 and 2/8 all the way to 8/8. Okay, so when you have that done, I'm going to move these aside because I did finish a set. Okay. When you have that done, it'll be like this. Right? Do yours look something like this? Oops, I have them in the wrong order. And then what you're going to do, friends, is use a marker. I'm going to just slip a piece of paper under here because I don't want to mark up my counter. You're going to use a marker and you're going to draw lines showing the different divisions of the pieces. So there's our line for 1/2, and here are our lines for our 4ths. And here are our lines for our 8ths. You're going to keep doing that. Okay, so now let me move these aside because I have a set done for those two. So then, oh, where's my hole? So you're going to end up with this. And friends, when you end up with this, you are done with your fraction strips. So again, what I would suggest is that you watch this video over again while you're making your fraction strips. Get some help from your parents if you need it, but don't worry if they're not perfect. It will totally work. And we're going to do some activities with these fraction strips, so make sure that you don't lose them. Hold on to them. And I will see you soon, and we'll get to work with them.